I'm Nicola Ruiz.
Madison Rancherson.
And we made a game called Debug. So based on as you can see here,
Punk, 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 punk,
and we have
punk, punk,
you know some
punk,
well,
punk,
it's some bug sound made
punk,
by our
punk,
friend Carl.
punk,
Just the same bug.
punk,
So you can just
punk,
take a take a
punk,
message
punk, punk,
to it.
punk,
Um,
punk, punk,
so and with the ball quality we like
punk,
you can see
punk,
it
punk, punk,
break blocks in the store.
punk, punk,
There's also different levels that get harder as you keep going
punk,
through it.
punk, punk,
And we so
punk, punk.
Project, I initially started work on the wall and brick classes. Uh, the wall class manages all the bricks. So at the start of the game, it goes through and makes them all in this for loop, and then draws them. And then throughout the game, it manages all the bricks through the remove broken bricks function. It goes through and checks if they've been hit by a ball. If they have been, they take one damage, and then if they have zero health left, then they get removed. Um, and then here we can see the brick class. It makes the individual bricks, draws them, has hit detection here for the ball, and then down here you see some code that's specific to level three because all the bricks in level three have two health, and so once they've taken one damage, they turn to a darker color to signal to the player that they've taken damage, and then the second time they get hit, they break. And then you can see here it adds to your score whenever you damage a brick. Um, the next thing I kind of worked on was after Dan created the ball class and got that working, they moved on more so to building the level stuff and the menu stuff. So while he was working on that, I changed up the ball collision and it got pretty complicated just so the movement felt better and like worked in a way that made sense. You have to have a lot of if statements throughout here, so it's looking to see here. It's looking to make sure it's staying on screen and it's bouncing off the edges of the screen. Make sure it doesn't like go up into like the score and the lives. And then here it has the hit detection for the slider. Since this is a breakout game, when it collides with the slider, it needs to bounce off in specific ways for the game to work right. So it has to see where it is in comparison to the slider when it hits the slider to bounce off correctly. And then the blocks, there are obstacles that are in the way, so then it's looking to see if it hits it, where it hits it, and so how it should bounce off. Um, and then I also did level design. So if you look here, you see, the first level, it's got like a rainbow. Then second level, got some cooler colors, and it gets a bit harder because now you have one obstacle here in the middle that blocks your way. And then when we get to the third level, we see we have some warmer colors, and we have two obstacles now in the way here, and the bricks all now have two health, so they take two hits to break instead of just one. I also did the lives and the scoreboard. So here we have lives. It just draws three balls on screen that shows your lives, and then as the ball goes off screen, it deletes the ball, makes a new one, and then you lose a life. And then score, uh, it prints the score up in the top left, and then it adds to score every time a brick gets damaged, and resets whenever you start a new level or you lose all your lives and the level resets. Um, and that's all the work I did on the game. As for what grade we should get on this project, I think we deserve an A. I feel like we were pretty ambitious and we did pretty well. I think it's like setting out to do multiple levels and getting a menu system that works. I feel like that was pretty cool. I know Dan found a library and like learned this whole new library called Pygame Menu just so we were able to do that. He did a lot of cool work with that. Um, uh, we have a lot of classes. Let's see here. We have ball, balls, block, brick, lives, scoreboard, slider, and wall. So we certainly went, I feel like, above and beyond. Even though the game, there's still some few minor issues. We did have some extenuating circumstances towards the end of the very last few days, I got sick, still sick. um, I had to leave yesterday on Tuesday, just the way things worked out. Uh, my dad was only able to pick me up like right after my second final on Tuesday. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio right now, so like you'll see in this video, I'm separate from Nick and Dan. I'm at his work right now recording this. Uh, um, so that's kind of made things hard these last few days trying to finish things up with I'm being in a separate location. So I think we did really well, and considering the last few days got a bit rough there, I think we deserve an A.
Hi, this is Dan. I worked on the menu and ball and like ball collisions and also and helped debug with all the other problems done in the game. I also created some of the graphics in here, so you'll see like a font and stuff. So I helped implement that. So as you can see, you have like the level system here. So if you click on like level 1, it takes you to level 1, and if you click on level 2, it takes you to level 2, so on and so forth. And if you hit quit, it closes the game. So I'm gonna click on level 1, and you'll see here
bonk,
that the ball
bonk,
bounces off of the
bonk,
environment, and it
bonk,
plays the sound that we had our
bonk,
Carl make,
bonk,
so that we didn't have to go
bonk,
through
bonk,
copyright sounds.
bonk,
I think it
bonk,
is personally not really
bonk,
enjoy the touch that it has.
bonk,
So I implemented the bubbles class, so it takes in information, it moves, it bounces off of the environment, which was a lot harder to get to work right than we initially thought. So it takes in a lot of information. As you can see, this move function's pretty gnarly. Yeah. So then, I also, the main thing that I did was work on the level system. So as you saw earlier, we had to, I created these functions in main so that it would run and set the menu level such that when you clicked on the buttons on the menu that it would actually work. As you can see here, it checks for the menu level and runs that. Along with that, I also worked in the game class, working with Nick to get the level system to work, and then also getting it so that when you lost all of your lives or you broke all the bricks, that it would move you on to the next level if you broke all the bricks, or restart the game if you hadn't. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. I really think that this project deserves an A or a B. We worked really well together, and even though when we were having troubles, we really talked about it, and even through the really kind of hard, intellectually challenging part of getting the game to continue updating when things crashed, or not when things crashed, when lives were lost and stuff. That was a super difficult thing, and I'm really proud of how well we worked together to get everything implemented. So yeah, I think we definitely deserve an A or a B.
Alright, this is Nicola, and I worked on the slider class, the obstacle class, and helped implement the level system. So in level 1, we saw that there were no obstacles, but the game worked. However, here,
bonk,
in level 2, we see
bonk,
obstacles have appeared and are
bonk,
blocking the path of the ball.
bonk, bonk,
I was in
bonk,
charge of making those and the
bonk,
hitboxes
bonk,
for them,
bonk,
and making sure
bonk,
that the slider could
bonk,
actually
bonk,
move from side to side.
bonk, bonk, bonk,
In level 3,
bonk,
there
bonk,
are
bonk, bonk,
more obstacles, and the obstacles are generated randomly per level. Okay, so here we have our code, and if we go to slider, here we have the move function and our hit method, which just basically tells the ball that yes, the slider was hit, then goes to our very complicated ball move method, and it'll bounce. And then the obstacle function, which again returns that the ball hit it and makes it bounce. Here in game, we have our level system, level 1, level 2, and level 3, which each generate their own obstacles. We also have handle breakout, so that when all the bricks are destroyed, we can start a new game. So overall, I think this project is in the A-B range because there are a few bugs, but it's not as bad as it was a week ago. The ball no longer rolls off the slider, everything's moving naturally, and we all work together and really well on it.